Good evening, dear friends, and welcome to the Saturday night version of this thing of ours. And things are exploding. And I am so glad you are joining us tonight. So glad you are with us. And as we always start off, let me remember this, take this as the article of faith and know that there is right now, as we speak, a time period of 157 days until the election. And we've only just begun to fight, my friends. We've only just begun to fight. I want you at your best. Keep your powder dry. Keep your emotions in check. Remember, we're going to win this. But what we need more than anything else is for you to calm down. Don't listen to everything that everybody says. You're going to hear people that are going to drive you crazy. People laughing, people saying things that are just lies. Look, we've been there. We've been through this before. We have been through it. And I'm telling you right now, we're going to get through this thing. Because let me tell you something right now, and I have not, you know me, if I don't feel this, if I don't think the evidence is there, I won't tell you it's there. But we are going to win this. We are going to win this. We are going to win this come November. And there's not a damn thing they can do about it. And I don't want you to get bogged down and worry about, can the president vote? Can he possess a firearm? Will he be allowed to serve as a juror? Will he be able to run for office? Yes, because Article 2 of the Constitution provides the rules for that. Do not be confused. Do not. It's critical, my friends, critical that you understand, that you grasp this. Because it's very easy for you to just kind of give in. Now, listen, I'm not going to lead you down the wrong path. I'm not going to lie to you. Sometimes I'll tell you, that's interesting. That's not. I think the news is good. I like to listen to what the enemy has to say, kind of to know what they're feeling and to know their shortcomings and the like. So, ladies and gentlemen, I ask you right now to please, first of all, thank you for joining us. Thank you so very much. Thank you for this. Let me remind you, dear friends, that I request and ask and beseech and importune and request of you to please like this video, but also to make sure and ensure that you are indeed signed up and that you are subscribed. Okay, we have a lot of stuff going on right now. We've got, oh my God. As we speak, I'm listening to somebody suggest that Alex Jones, they say, maybe shut down his studios. I don't know if that's true. We've got the Biden administration going crazy. I've got clips and some of the best and strongest movement possible. And there is an incredible movement, my friends, among the African-American community as well. Breakfast clubs. The best talk radio, the best morning driver, the best talk radio, unconventional stick radio, conventional terrestrial radio is urban, African-American, and also Latino, and sports. That's it. Everything else is pretty much rehashed and regurgitated. So sit back, my friends. Let's get ready. We're going to get down to business. Again, I thank you for this. Stand by. And before we begin, let us start, because talking about First Amendment, there was a man that we met named Mike Lindell, and he decided he's going to put out the best product and the best pillows and the best slippers. By the way, their slippers, believe it or not, that's what they sell more of than anybody. Who knew? But they came down on him like gangbusters, and he fought back and he fought back and he fought back, and he was resilient. And I'm not suggesting you should go to mypillow.com, promo code Lionel. No other promo code, just because of the travails he's had to endure. No. It's the greatest product in the world, but also one of the finest Americans this country has ever produced. MyPillow.com, promo code Lionel. It's time yet again, my friends, to hail and salute our great friends at MyPillow.com. And if you use promo code Lionel, you'll get a free gift. No purchase necessary. And yes, I know a free gift. It's a tautology, so sue me. But first, listen carefully. Check out their $25 extravaganzas. Premium My Pillows, Queen and King, My Pillow 2.0. My Pillow bed sheets, the lowest price ever. Sandals, slides, slippers, 6-piece towel sets, 4-pack dish towel sets. Simply and absolutely unbelievable. So go to mypillow.com/Lionel, mypillow.com, promo code Lionel, or call 800-645-4965, and watch how fast Mike Lindell answers the phone. mypillow.com, simply and absolutely the best. My friend, starting off right now, Madam Stamp says, I designed and ordered a shirt today. I identify as non-binary. Excellent. He's through. He's done. He's finished. You know what's also interesting about Joe Biden? Let me just give you an idea. And this is kind of important to understand the enemy, dear friends. There was a while back when Joe Biden, you probably don't remember this, made sense. There were these moments that made sense that people would like you not to recall today, but nonetheless, he made a lot of sense. He really did. He made sense. And this is one, just as an example. This is Joe Biden. I guess during the Obama administration, I would imagine. But listen to this Joe Biden and compare him to now.
The president used his radio address yesterday and tomorrow in the Rose Garden to talk about a constitutional amendment to ban gay marriage.
You know, think about this. The world's going to Hades in a handbasket. We are desperately concerned about the circumstance relating to avian flu. We don't have enough vaccines. We don't have enough police officers. And we're going to debate the next 3 weeks, I'm told, gay marriage, a flag amendment, and God only knows what else. I can't believe the American people can't see through this. We already have a law, the Defense of Marriage Act, where we've all voted, not where I voted and others.
Now wait, listen to this.
Said, look, marriage is between a man and a woman.
Wait. You say, what did you say? What?
Marriage Act. We've all voted, not where I voted and others said, look, marriage is between a man and a woman, and states must respect that. Nobody's violated that law. There's been no challenge to that law. Why do we need a constitutional amendment? Marriage is between a man and a woman. What's the game going on here? And
this is the example of the sheer and unmitigated collapse of the mentality of the conscience of this man. It absolutely blows my mind. There was a clip before where he's talking to Anderson Cooper about, well, you know, the bathhouses. What are you even talking about? So remember something. The man in his senescence, he goes to show you, he'll say whatever he wants. How do you go from that to what he is now? Because he's cored out. Because they own him. Listen, please sit down. Have a drink. Relax. They own him. China owns him. How many people had copies of that laptop? How many people knew what was on that laptop? They own him. They have, who do you think has all the information regarding Burisma and all the deals? When you have this, now think about this. You have this meth and crack addicted evil seed running the show for you. Tony Bobolinsky, remember what was his brother, James Biden? Somebody's got all that evidence. They own him. They own him. I don't think for 1 minute that this guy's not beyond having his son take the blame and take the fall and throw him under the bus. You don't think so? Who in their right mind? Think about this. I know who in their right mind. Who in their right mind would allow? Who would allow a crack addict, a meth addict with teeth rotten and rotten away through meth use and the like, with prostitutes who spent how many hundreds of thousands of dollars? Did you see this? Did you go to my YouTube channel, kiddies? Did you see this one? Hang on, where is this? Here we go. The Democratic Party stand. Okay. Hunter Biden spent a staggering $872,000 on prostitutes, porn, and sex club memberships, and took $1.6 million from ATMs. The Democratic Party stands firmly against the funding of hoes, mercenaries, and the like, right? This is the story this is what these people are trying to say. They were trying to say hush money to adult. They're trying to I guess they call it, I don't know, some type of shame. I think the popular word against Stormy Daniels. They own him. Go down the list. When Bill Clinton paid Paula Jones $878 what do you call that? What was that? I mean, this is we're beyond that. They call it hush money. By the way, a little bit of an aside here. Do you know what Bill Clinton should have done? He was so stupid. Mr. Genius. He decided that he was going to this is important. He was going to fight the case. We had Clinton against Jones. Remember that when he took his famous, remember when he did the famous deposition, and then he did grand jury stuff in the White House? Remember that? He fought it. And all he had to do was say, you know what? Default. Completely default the case. What does that mean? Default. Don't answer it. Say, look, I'm too busy to do this. I don't have time to do this. I'm not invited. I am the president of the United States. His fundraisers, his people, his money people, they would have paid her off. No problem. And then he could have said, I never answered it. I never dealt with it. I never addressed it. I just let it go. And he could have done something. But no, he had to fight it. So this is the guy who, this is the way these people think. This is the way these people think. It's incredible. It's incredible. Now, let me also tell you something. This is what we have. The RNC does some tremendous work. People have got to know the truth. People have got to know the truth. You want to get mad? You want to get angry? Remember, don't get mad. Get motivated. Listen to this.
Testimony that the border is secure.
The president have worked very, very hard to implement a strategy when it comes to the border that is humane, safe, and has orderly enforcement.
Things are going at the border, sir.
Much better than you all expected.
We have a secure border, in that is a priority for any nation, including ours and our administration.
We have responded
This guy.
with a model approach that has proven to work.
We have taken unprecedented action over the past year and a half to secure our border.
And we have a process in place to manage migrants at the border. We're working to make sure it's safe and orderly and humane.
The border is closed.
We agree that the border is secure.
We're executing a comprehensive strategy to secure our borders.
One of our highest priorities is to ensure that we have a secure border. And that is what we are doing.
We are stopping the flow at the border.
The border is secure.
It's incredible. I don't know about you. I mean, I guess I could do it, but I would be so conditional. Well, I wouldn't use the word. I don't know if secure is the best word. Well, I'm not, it's hard to say. Dear God, they look at you and they lie. They lie without any hesitation, any trepidation. I'm not one to necessarily listen to everybody, but there is one voice, one guy that I've always liked, and he's always been tough, and he's in Hollywood. His daughter is one of the weirdest, strangest. His daughter, who carried vials of blood when she was attached to that Billy Bob Remember that? And who she was extremely friendly with her brother. Remember how weird that was? And yet, despite all of that, one of the greatest actors of our time is able to say things in a way that is so perfect. The only problem is he's speaking to the choir, but nonetheless, it's most eloquent.
Fear all around. Everybody's angry. What's going on with this planet? We're allowing this sick president, Biden, to give permission for all to steal, cheat, lie, kill, and no one is paying the ultimate price for this?
Yep.
We must stop these animals. We must stand up now and make a choice for righteousness, because this is a critical time.
Yep.
So this is what we must all do. We must vote for truths, trust, honor, safety, love, respect, and we must destroy these animals. My fellow Americans, I witnessed these crimes on social media, the news. I'm here to testify for truths and for honor.
Yes.
The man who has this country's best interest, Donald J. Trump, he's the only one who can save our country from destruction.
And by the way, that sounds like, like, okay. It's the truth. I swear to God, it's the truth.
We're losing loved ones every day from the criminals walking our streets. We must wake up and stop this crime. These false accusations that have been put upon Trump's life to try to destroy his chances of getting elected, these judges, they are the corruption of this society's morals. They are taking down our safety, allowing our streets to be full of horror, and they are consumed with deceit.
By the way, guess how old he is? Don't look. Guess how old he is? I just checked. Guess how old he is? 85. 85. Sharp as a tack. Still doing business. Still an actor. 85. So don't give me this stuff about, well, it's Biden's age. It's not his age. It's called mental decrepitude.
My words are for all to hear, that the power of what once ruled the land of the free, the forefathers that fought with blood, sweat, and tears for the people, for their freedom, for the safety of their loved ones, is now destroyed by the left's greed, deception, power, and darkness. But now, with the power of God and all of us, let us bring back the glory of the People's Declaration.
Imagine what they're doing with him in Hollywood. I mean, remember with Liev Schreiber, whatever that HBO, he was great. He played a crack addicted. He did one of the best roles ever with Marlon Brando. He was wonderful. And you're right about that, Shelby. Dershowitz is 85 too. Dershowitz is an egomaniac, but Dershowitz is 85. He's terrific. And Joe Biden, I'm sorry. Don't give me this business about, his age. Don't give me this age business. 85.
For that, my friends, is the greatest testimony of all, and it shall be again. And the 45th President of the United States, Donald J. Trump, will make America safe again. For he will fight, and he will win, because lies will die, and the truth shall prevail, and all will be wishing they saw the truth and didn't follow the herd of the unjust, corrupt mob, the swamp, the evil.
Yes.
And when the truth prevails, the glory of the notes of Benjamin Franklin will shine again.
Isn't that something? Isn't that incredible?
Much love to you.
Don't you love that? Don't you just, who doesn't feel this? I didn't feel this in 2020. I didn't feel this in 2020. I didn't feel this in 2020. It was a different world. So everybody come out. Listen to me very carefully. I know you feel rotten. I understand. But just take it easy. Do what I'm saying. Listen to me. First of all, number one, turn cable TV off. I can do it. I can listen to these people and I always learn from that. Number one, don't watch cable TV. Don't. If you have friends who don't know what they're talking about, don't listen to them. If you have friends, by the way, who are Trump supporters, don't listen to them if they don't know the rules. You must maintain your sense of equanimity, equipoise. You must remain calm. We're going to get through this. This is a fight. It's a slog. I'm ready for it. We can do it. We're not going anywhere. We're not going anywhere. And the people that you're talking to who drive you crazy aren't making the decisions. They're not making the decisions. I've had more people, seriously, I'm not telling me I don't know what to do. Let me explain something. And I think this is really important. And I mean this. Okay? And please don't take this the wrong way. It's more than being an adult. And being tough doesn't mean, hitting people. And it means being able to handle reality. Being able to handle reality. Being able to grasp the notion of reality. That's what we're talking about here. To grasp the notion of reality. This is a fight that we're going to win. This is a fight that we're going to win. So don't talk to people who drive you crazy. Don't watch cable news. And if you want to do something, here's what you should do. Number one, become conversant with the Electoral College. Look at the swing states. Look at what's going on. And also get an average of the folks, the numbers that are critical. Pay attention to what's happening. I'm going to say something again. And so is John McGuire, couldn't get higher, our dear friend who says, tuned in late, what's your take on Jones saying he's going to be shut down tonight? I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what the I don't know. I mean, look, in my heart, there was a time that I remember, and I want everybody to go back to pre-2001, pre-9/11, when the internet was glorious and golden, and it was the Wild West. And Alex Jones was, and he got too big. George Lenz says, by the way, there will be psychological fallout over this. Oh, I know. You're right about that, and thank you. This is a bankruptcy proceeding. This is not about free speech per se. I know what you're thinking. It's a very strange concept, how he defaulted by virtue of his not complying with court orders as to turning over of records and the like. Do you understand this? So we'll talk about more about that, but I want to talk more about this. This is our critical. This is our critical moment. I don't want to remind folks, but, and I've got to say this in a nice way. There are people that I know who live in a world right now where everything that they feel, every feeling they feel must be accepted, must be explored, must be felt, must be grasped. Where the people who sat in the front seat of their car and screamed, the Karens, the ones who screamed and yelled, I'm sorry. And I'm thinking, wait. People we live in a world where people have, service dogs and munching on your edibles, and I've got anxiety. I don't know what to do, and I'm going crazy. I can't end. I don't know what to do. Wait a minute. Hold it. The first rule is this. You can be, nervous, whatever. That's fine. But we're going to get through this. Number two, America is ready to do this. I don't know how to say this other than there's no world war here. America's not at war. It's not like Vietnam with 55,000 that we know of killed. We're not talking about, there's no Hitler. There's no Axis power here. There's nothing like this. There's no depression. I mean, we have been through things in this country that are absolutely unbelievable. This is an election. And believe it or not, the country itself is going to maintain. But I'm telling you, what you have to do is this is a war about ideas. And you've got to be you've got all the most important thing. All I'm asking, if you really want to be a part of this, is make sure you vote. That's it. That's all you have to do. That's all you can do. You can know everything you want about the Supreme Court. You can know whatever you want to about Bilderberg. By the way, Bilderberg right now, as you know, this is the 70th anniversary. It ends tomorrow in Madrid. Bilderberg, the number one, the biggest globalist cabal, bar none. Bar none. And nobody knows anything about it. So please, I ask you, know, research, read, become conversant with history. History makes you calm. It makes things make sense. This is no civil war. This isn't World War I. We're not in a world war. We've got other concerns. But you have to have this thing called perspective. And the thing that I'm wondering about is, how do so many people that I know so little about what's happening? Now, let me give you an example of something. I watch, from time to time, a little bit of CNN here and there to see what people are saying. Did you see how they're jumping all over Fredo Cuomo about what he said about ivermectin? I mean, this is incredible stuff. This is incredible stuff. Seriously. They're all over the nerve of this guy. He's a he's a child. But you have to watch it to catch it. And there are these news folks that say, we're here in our platform. We're not going to be, we're not going to be political. You don't understand it. It's over. We're taking over. My people, my folks, my comrades, my colleagues, members of the conspiratorium, there's more of us than you. And as my great friend, let's call him, Vinny, as Vinny one time said, remember, we can drown them with our urine. There's so much of us. We're not the unwashed masses. We know more of what's going on than anybody. Let me give you an example of something. You know this fellow George Conway? I don't know what the Lincoln Project. This is Kellyanne Conway's husband. I don't know what this guy's about. I got my hints, my suspicions. But what are you going to do? Listen to this. He's losing his mind. And he's also losing the election. And it's starting to show. Listen to this.
To see this backfire politically on the Democrats, and they're going to regret it.
I mean, George, I will say, I have heard from some people who really don't want to see Trump get elected in the Republican Party who are concerned that this particular case is just going to drive additional enthusiasm for the former president. I'm interested in you respond to that. And
now let me explain something to you. Listen to me carefully. You know and I know what they never thought about. They thought that if you keep throwing stuff at Trump, that he will cave, that he will collapse, that he will be, I don't know, that he will be somehow, by the by, before I forget, if you're trying sometimes ever to write something, and for some reason something is not allowed, names of countries, names of concepts, split the word in half. Like instead of putting a Lionel, write L-I-O, a space, then N-E-L. Algorithms don't. A friend of mine who said one time, I think it was our friend Sparky, who said you couldn't write the word good. He kept writing doog. So remember that. If ever you see something, change it. Put a number in something to throw off machine readers who oftentimes miss the point completely. But in any event, this feller was losing his mind here because he doesn't understand this idea that people, Americans love an underdog. And sometimes when somebody fights back, you say, my God, this guy, I like him. I like his toughness. Or they say, I don't understand why they're going after him. So as a CNN commentator is suggesting, Mr. Conway here on the bottom left has a hard time grasping this.
You got your face in your hands. What do you got to say to Scott?
I have to say, look, Scott's lying, and that's the problem with the Republican Party.
Lying. He's frustrated. He doesn't know what to do anymore. He's exasperated. He and his friends in the Lincoln Project and all these people, they've lost. They don't know what to do anymore. Everything they've done is backfired. What kind of a weird parallel universe do we live in when you go after somebody and you hit them with four prosecutions, really two civil cases for sexual misadventure with E. Jean Carroll, plus attempting to bankrupt him. I mean, anybody else, you would say he's destroyed, but Trump's numbers go through the roof. And what George Conway is doing is everything he's planned is failed.
It is continually addicted to lies.
Wait a minute. What am I lying
You're
about?
lying. You're lying, Scott. You're lying about the law. You're lying about what the jury was charged to find.
Lying. Don't you love this? Lying. Who's lying? What are you talking about? Who's lying? Take it easy, Georgie. Take it easy. This guy, he's going nuts.
They don't have to find an underlying crime. They had to find the intent to cover up an underlying crime.
Now think about this. He is trying his best now to drastically suggest that and we've been to this to the point of exhaustion, where the jury instructions and the indictment itself. Oh, George, come on.
And the underlying crime was pretty obvious.
What was the crime?
You ran for public office, Scott. You ran for public office, Scott. You know you can't take money from somebody and reimburse them if it's a campaign expense.
I've never run for
damn
public
well.
office.
And
can you believe? Stop for a second. Stop. This is a man who's trying to rev up the flames of contempt for Donald Trump. And he's saying, you know that you can't take a gas money and make it a conversation and a review. You can't do that. Oh, my God. Oh, Lord. Did you hear what he did? Oh, thank you, Mr. Conway. I had no idea. Tell me again what he did. Oh, Lord.
Public office, Scott. You ran for public office, Scott. You know you can't take money from somebody and reimburse them if it's a campaign expense.
I've never run for
damn
public.
well.
You can't reimburse him. Oh, I had no idea. You mean Trump reimbursed people? Oh, my God. Oh, Lordy. Why did President Trump, you told me you were going to make America great again. And you did what? What was that again? I don't even understand it, but it's terrible. He reimbursed the campaign. Something or other. Oh, Lordy. I had no idea.
And okay, fine. Well, you're close enough. You're involved in politics to know that.
That's right. Always laugh at people like, and then give them a shut up.
Okay, so that's the problem with the Republican Party, is that they are suffused with lies. I don't know why this network is paying Scott to say those lies.
Oh, now he's getting upset. I don't know why you're paying this. Oh, now look at this. Look at the little Missy here. She's getting upset.
Okay, let's not go
hey.
Scott is our colleague, and we're going to treat him respectfully as such. Continue.
Well, you shouldn't lie.
Here's my question: If it is an obvious.
That's the best you can do. You're a liar. How about this, Mr. Poopy Pants?
Crime. Why did the Department of Justice and the Federal Election Commission take a pass on it?
Well, the federal
They
election
should have
commission-
prosecuted.
the federal
It
election
should have been
commission- wait a second.
prosecuted on January 21, 2021.
Let's let
okay,
David
that's
jump
what.
in.
We all know
This
the
is the
federal
thing
election-
about Donald Trump.
he's
Is
never
Donald
been
Trump
indicted for
Trump
this.
has been let off. He should have been indicted for it. And the fact of the matter
right,
is,
hold
Donald
on,
Trump
hold on.
isn't being treated specially.
George and
Oh.
Scott, hold on, please. David.
Don't you love it? Don't you see what's happening? They're going crazy. They're going crazy. I love this. Don't you understand? Please, to all my dear friends, when you're feeling bad, he's upset, smile. Feel the warmth reflected off his own insanity when he comes to the right realization that he's losing, that he's going to lose. John McGuire couldn't get higher, says, legal question, for my business, are envelopes used for direct mail classified as office supplies or an advertising cost? I'm looking to stay in compliance. Are envelopes used for direct mail classified as office supplies or an advertising cost? I would say both. I think you could, in essence, commingle those two definitional statements. Stand by for one second, my friend. Let me give you another example of something. I don't know about you, but people think we're crazy. They think we're crazy. They've always thought we're crazy. We're a bunch of conspiracy nuts. They thought we're crazy. You're just crazy. You and that Trump all the time talking about whatever you're just crazy. And when we've told them about, you better be careful about that 5G. What are you talking about? 5G? Are you talking about that 5G is good for you? Wi-Fi is good for you. And my dream one day, and it's happening, but nobody's noticed it, is for people to say, okay, you always told us about geoengineering. For as long as I can remember, I'm saying, look at what they're spraying. And it's there. But you got to look under geoengineering and not under this thing called chemtrails, which don't make any sense. Well, then a while back, somebody said, this was the wildest. Do you remember when there were food interruptions, when there were supply chain? Remember that? Those ships out in wherever it was. Then there was that one weekend. Oh my God. Remember the trucker strikes and the yellow vests? They just go away. We just forget about them. And then one week there was there was this really wild story. It was come si chiama? Yes. It was a ransomware. And all of a sudden, gas stations were closed down because of ransomware. I don't know what the hell that was. And all it takes is for one little problem and stores close and food interruptions stop. And then people get panicked and they go crazy. One time we were doing this, somebody said, I don't know what the big deal about prepared food or emergency food is. After all, I've got a fishing pole. Can you believe this? Can you imagine going there in the middle of some type of catastrophe? He's out there at the creek trying to catch a bream. I've got banana chips and jerky. I got some pasta. Can you go 90 days? Can you feed your family for 90 days? How about a week? Right now, if I just locked your house, as you can't leave, shelter in place, let's say there's something going on, you got to stay in there. There's no takeout. There's no Uber Eats or anything like that. Can you go a week for you and your family and not go crazy? People go crazy during emergencies. I don't know about you, but here in New York, whenever there's a snowstorm, the two things they always buy? Milk and bread. I don't know what the hell that's about. And God forbid you're a bunch of, lactose intolerant people inside. I mean, it's going to be pretty nasty. Let me try it again. There we go. That sounds better. So listen, my friends, to our friends at preparedwithlionel.com. If you think food emergency preparation is crazy, then just call me crazy. It's no longer a question of if something catastrophic is coming, it's when. And while you still have some control, what are you going to do about it now to prepare? Well, your first step is going to my website, preparedwithlionel.com. And for a limited time, take $200 off a 3-month emergency food supply. My Patriot Supply is equipped to help you and your family to prepare. They've helped over 2 million families already. These 3-month kits with Ready Hour Foods provide over 2,000 calories every day with 22 varieties and a 25-year shelf life. Breakfast, lunches, dinners, drinks, snacks, everything. And they're sealed inside 6 rugged waterproof buckets, and they're over 120 pounds of food. So take advantage right now and go to preparedwithlionel.com, preparedwithlionel.com. One more time, preparedwithlionel.com. But they'll always call you crazy. They'll always call you crazy. You're nuts. You're a lunatic. You're crazy. You're crazy. You're crazy. How many times have you been called crazy? You don't understand something. I've been around here for a long time, see. And I've been called crazy my whole life. And I'm not crazy. John McGuire says, just trying to avoid a felony charge. Well, John, if you're not running for office, I don't think you're going to have any problem. I would also check, by the way, John, with accountants and experts in the particular field. But you know, I was here on September the 11th. Oh my God. And we all understand what happened there, right? Nobody's even talking about it. I've been through all of this. So whenever I've asked obvious questions, the more obvious the questions, the more serious the questions asked. I'm going to show you something right now. I told you, my friends, one of the groups that I want to pay the most attention to, in addition to everybody else, are, of course, African Americans, Latinos, and gays. And African Americans are the secret weapon. 40% of the population and a group of people who, listen to me, are conservative, God-fearing, God-loving, and more tired of this nonsense than anything else, and a group of people who have been completely just ignored, tossed aside by this new version of popular group, popular whatever it is. And that is, of course, not Latinos, but illegals. Listen to this. This is a wonderful little piece. And by the way, these kind of impromptu, kind of do-it-yourself ads, I think are more emblematic and more representative and more critical than anything else.
That's why they found Trump guilty on all 34 counts. After all, he has them shook. But let me remind you guys once more why Trump is undoubtedly the greatest president of all time.
Let me talk to you.
6 million new jobs were created under Trump. Matter of fact, he took action to stop the outsourcing of jobs overseas. More than 3.6 million people came off of food stamps. We had the lowest unemployment rate in over 50 years. He created the biggest tax cuts ever for all social classes. He made America energy independent. He's the only president to take on human trafficking, aka modern slavery. He created a human trafficking task force and made January National Slavery and Human Trafficking Prevention Month.
Yes.
No new wars under Trump. Matter of fact, Trump brokered a number of historic peace deals in the Middle East. He secured our borders. He rebuilt the military and established Space Force. And let's not forget, he made less money while in office. But for all of his accomplishments, Trump has made it abundantly clear. The best is yet to come.
Made less money, he's lost money. Remember that. He lost money. He lost billions. They were going to get him on the emoluments clause. Impeached twice. So when I tell people, you know, I'm feeling gonna whatever, how do you think he's feeling? How do you think Trump's feeling? Oh, he's strong. Trump's human. You don't think Trump's had a moment where he sat down? I don't want to say he's cried, but if anybody deserved, where he said, I can't believe this. I don't even take a salary. I'm trying to do something. I don't need this. Why would I want to do this? Some kind of megalomaniacal dream? They've not let me. From the moment he tried to walk down that escalator and they went after Carter Page, this is what we're talking about, my friends. This is the most critical thing I have ever seen in my life. So please, whatever you're feeling, whatever angst, whatever anxiety you're going for, it is infinitesimally de minimis compared to what he's going through. And look at some of these some of the messages are so strong. Dig this.
It was done by the Biden administration in order to wound or hurt an opponent, a political opponent.
Mr. President, can you tell us,
Watch
sir,
this look.
Donald Trump refers to himself as a political prisoner and blames you directly. What's your response to that, sir?
Is that not the scariest thing you have ever seen? Is that not? Seriously. It reminds me like that Max Schreck, you know, or that Nosferatu. It's horrible. There's an absolute evil quality. You see, let me explain something. The word evil doesn't do it. Doesn't really explain it. I know what I'm talking about. You see, evil is just but an evil person who doesn't go out of their way unless somebody comes to them, compared to a sadist, compared to somebody who you know, there are things, who was a Rousseau's second, not thesis, but forgive me, I'm a little shingad today, but thesis. Look at Madam Stab. Big Daddy Trump. That's right. Big Daddy. That's right. Our Rasta friend. Indeed. But a sadist is somebody who wants to impact upon you and to watch you in pain. It's not just evil. Evil is somebody where I don't love people, I don't like people, but I can be a little, I don't know how proactive evil has to be. The thing you must understand, and I hope you're not going to be offended by this, but humans are not good. I would speak to your almighty God right now and say, I understand. I've always been there to explain away. I've always said that according to biblical and religious tenets and beliefs, man was given free will. And it's that free will that is responsible for a lot of the horrors that we're seeing right now. But most people are not good. They're just not bad. Most people don't feel feelings of beneficence and charity. I mentioned Rousseau's second postulate is that of pity. For you to look at somebody and to see pity, that's one of the elements of somebody who is evil. When you see a child who shows compassion and empathy, to be empathic, these are what humans have. It's to look at you and say, I know what you're feeling. I know this. I don't want to see this. When I see, there were pictures that I saw recently of children that were pulled out of rubble in Gaza. And the picture that got me the most was the look of almost unreactive, the 1,000-yard stare type of thing. It was the most horrible. They were so used to it, they didn't respond. They didn't. You see, one of the things I've noticed, I got to tell you something. When you've been around like crime scenes and stuff, and it's not the way you think. It really isn't. That's TV. If ever you see, you ever see gunfire, people are hit and they keep walking and they don't even, on TV, people blown away and they're all pulled back. It doesn't work like that. And there's this thing that happens when we take a human being and we take a baby, and we take a child, And we little by little, bit by bit, indoctrinate them away and lose their sense of what humanity is. They lose. A child will always, if a baby or a child sees another baby crying, they say, what's the matter? They feel bad. They want to help. They feel it. They're empathic and sympathetic, and they have pity. They have these feelings. They have these feelings that are so critical. It's incredible how they do that, and they feel it. And then later on, we indoctrinate them. We start seeing bullying. Do you know one of the worst things that you can ever have is have a bully as a child? That's sadistic. That's psychopathic. Somebody who takes pleasure out of exacting and inspiring fear and intimidation and dread and embarrassment of somebody else, that's if you've got a bully as a kid, you better do something about this. This is really scary. And bullies turn out to be. And then you put them together and you train them. And we do this in the military. And we have to do this. With all due respect to people in the military, we do not have time for soldiers and Marines to be independent thinkers on the battlefield. They must be able to act in concert in a unit and to vanquish and destroy the enemy. And they cannot have time worrying about the moral overtones and the overarching concerns of whether this is the right act. No, they're lethal weapons. That's what they do. And we take them to battle and we destroy them. We put them in the worst possible situations you can imagine. We put them in the worst situations available. And then we bring them back and we do nothing for them. And they're loaded up with PTSD. And it's this psychopathy. It's this world that we live in. It's this world. And then you go to the White House, you go to Washington, and whatever stretch, whatever bit of humanity you have there, forget it. It's about power. It's about money. It's about stealing. It's us. And they think they're better than you. You've got to understand something. They think they're better than you. They think they know better. You're just some prole. You're the proletariat. You're some plebeian serf. You're a nobody. They don't care about you. Oh, they talk a good game. Oh, especially when it comes time to war. Oh, remember our dead. Celebrate who gave the ultimate sacrifice. Don't even make me laugh. Put another monument. Put another name there. Doesn't really matter. Do you know that we've had more cases of self-harm, which is the way people talk about it, of soldiers, and many of them never even saw combat. You know that we're lowering the standards right now to the point where not only are people out of shape, but they're intellectually and emotionally out of shape. And you take all of this together and then throw in social media to our world. I'm going to say something to you, my friends, and you're going to think I'm kidding, but I'm dead serious. Years ago, I was born in 58, right? So in my generation, I remember when Hugh Hefner came along, when Playboy came along. And Playboy was pretty racy stuff. George Lennon says, I'll go further here. They actually hate us. Oh, I agree with you. Oh, absolutely. And thank you, George. But I got to tell you something. When we were a kid, or I was a kid, there was this thing called Playboy. And Playboy, and people do not understand it. Do not understand. This was a pivotal time. It was an incredible time. We were coming out of the 50s. And there was a sexual revolution in music. And yeah, Tavistock, and it was CIA and everything else. But it was a wild time. And then all of a sudden, there was this magazine. And what people don't understand is at the time of Playboy, if you remember this, they had Playboy After Dark. Remember the show? It was Playboy. It taught men how to buy clothes. Robert L. Greene was the fashion editor. They had interviews. Yeah, they had a centerfold, but it was benign. It was harmless. It was almost simple. It was quaint compared to this. Quaint. Hugh Hefner said that he grew up in the 40s. That he believed in romance. And they had the Playboy's Big Ten and Playboy's Jazz and Playboy Jazz Festival and how to buy a hi-fi, how to buy a stereo, how to mix a drink, it was a whole other thing. Yes, there was sex. Yes, there was. But it was always, there was never degradation. There was never people being hurt. It was a celebration of sexuality, but it was, I don't want to say it was benign. It was, if you will, positive. Do you know what's happening right now? And to use these terms misses the point. To call it pornography misses the point completely. But it is so rough and violent and crude. And I don't, listen, if you're an adult, okay, fine, look at it. You're not going to go crazy. Maybe you will. I don't think you will. Because you're an adult. You have a frame of reference. You've been around. You know how things are. Maybe you've been married or are married. You have children. You know what's going on. You're not developing, as they say. Well, this is a different time right now. This is a different time. Do you know that there are kids going into emergency rooms, girls in particular, who are choked out, black eyes, hit, ravaged, savaged, because they're seeing this. And boys who don't have anybody to show them the right way think that this is the way to involve lovemaking. I kid you not. Do you know the number of sextortion cases that are going on? Are you aware of this? Anybody? Anybody? This is the kids watching the game, kids at home, and the parents think, well, he's okay because he's in the living room and he's playing call to action or whatever the hell it is. I never got into video games. Maybe a little arcade stuff, maybe a Missile Command, and that was about it. Frogger, Death Race was kind of fun, and that's it. Okay, fine. But that's me. I know people love it, and that's fine. I have no problem with it. MBS, Mohammed bin Salman, one of the richest, if not richest man in the world, loves video games. Okay, so as they're doing this, all of a sudden, they're talking to somebody. Somebody shows them the old, show me yours, I'll show you mine. They don't know better. These are kids. They don't have executive functions, executive portions of the brains. What do? They'll send a picture. And then the next thing they say, I've got your picture. And if you don't give me $300 or whatever it is, we're going to go to your house and I'm going to embarrass you and I'm going to tell your parents and we're going to go. And I know students who have, teachers rather, where students have moved. This is a huge problem. You have no idea. Let me do this one more time. I always do this. And I'm going to say it again. Mrs. L's YouTube channel is so critical. Look, we're gone. The way we are, we're gone. There are so many people right now who are so demented by virtue of social media. You have no idea. You have no idea. I got to give you a story. I got to tell you a story. You're not going to believe this. A while back, there was a case. It was a case of a woman who was really in financial dire straits. Really bad. Really, really bad. Okay. And she was going around asking people basically for help. I'm at my wit's end. This is the end. I need you. I've never known. And I'm in dire straits like this. Seriously. Now listen to what I'm telling you. Okay. I need money. I'm going to be on the street. Okay, fine. At the same time, listen to what I'm saying. At the very same time she was doing this, she was going on Instagram and Facebook saying, here I am in front of the plaza. Here I am here I am. Oh, Central Park. Here I am. Telling people, living this lie about how great I look, how great I am, how rich I am, how successful I am, how happy. And then while at the same time telling people, you got to help me out. So what does it matter? Because people live in this bubble called social media. I don't know why women who turn 50 have to put a picture of themselves in the bikini. It's my birthday. Okay, MTG, God bless you. Do you have to do that? Seriously. Are we? I mean, I'm just saying. Can you imagine Eleanor Roosevelt? Here I am. We are insane. So don't be surprised if the politicians are bad. Don't be surprised if criminals are getting worse, because we as a people are so devoid. I don't know what it is. Sanity, religion, God, family, honor. I don't know. But we are really bad. And this man is still, I swear to you, why he doesn't say, you know what? I've had enough. You win. I'm done. Here, pick, who would you pick? Who? What, Tulsi Gabbard? Seriously. Vivek Ramaswamy? He's a kid. He's a billionaire, but he's a kid. Whom would you pick if there was no Trump? I don't know. I don't know how he keeps going. And when he wins, and he will, the real problem we have is us. It's our soul. It's our maturity. It's our sense of right and wrong. It's what really matters to people. We don't care. Oh, we've got some. So that's why when John Voight tells us, let me tell you something. I've changed in the past 5 years drastically. Well, let me rephrase it. I haven't changed. The world has changed. They used to tell me all the time, the world is so awful. Even during Rush Limbaugh, such a great guy. Rush would be walking down the hall, and then the end of it, Rush, calm down. I know, Henny Penny, you tend to be a bit Cassandra-like, but now I'm telling you, it's worse than anything has ever seen. By the way, Sparky wants Newsom and Kushner in 24. Anybody want to join in? Gavin Newsom and Jared Kushner? Would you like that? Would you like that? Would you like that? Anybody? Would you care for that? That's all. And let me tell you something. We're going to have a big problem. Trump's platform is, do you think it's defined enough? Nope. But we'll get to that later. In the meantime, stick to this. Stick to reality right now. Stick to reality. Do you understand what I'm saying? That's all. That's all. Because let me tell you something. Without Trump, there's nobody else. There's nobody else. Who? Kristi Noem? Nikki Haley? Tulsi Gabbard? Who? Honest to God, who? Lionel, do you think Kate is still with us? Absolutely not. Nope. One day you're going to wake up. One day they're going to say she's gone. She passed away, and that's it. And she will have been gone. This is so horrible what they're doing. They're just, and let me tell you who else is going to be sad to say. You may not care about it, but I think it's sad. Britney Spears. She is so mentally ill. It's not even funny. And they're sucking every drop, every penny out of her until we don't know how to handle mental illness in this country. They gaslighted you with Kate. They gaslighted you with her. Kash Patel for vice president. Really? Seriously? You want Kash Patel, and God forbid something happens to Donald Trump, sitting down with Xi Jinping? You want Kash Patel sitting across from Putin? Putin walks into the room and you want Kash Patel? Now, with all due respect, do we say things because, well, I kind of like him? Like him? To be the president of the United States, to represent me, to be able to fight the evil forces, to be able to tell the neocons and the Victoria Newlands what to do? Are you kidding me? Listen, with all due respect, I want an adult. I don't want a little boy, and I don't want somebody who's like cool and smart and, but sorry, This is serious business. This is your grandchildren we're talking about. These people are ruthless. You want Kash Patel to sit across from Putin? Listen, did you see Tucker? Tucker almost soiled himself with him. That's an intimidating person. Remember that one? I know you love that one, but that was brilliant. And then after he gets done, Putin says, I wish he would have asked me some tougher questions. This is the guy who let Putin start talking about the history of the Byzantine thing. No. Do you think Kash Patel is going to be able to tell Tony Blinken, and by the way, the deep state, where to go? Do you think he's going to be has the force to understand where this is going? To be able to tell NATO, we're ending this. It's done. This is a new era. Or he can handle the problem of BRICS. Do you really think so? Because you've seen somebody say something pithy? Let me tell you something. There are some folks, say what you want, and I know nobody liked him, and I know he did some things which were just absolutely. But I want somebody who has a bit of the mean, M-I-E-N, the countenance, the affect of a Kissinger. I mean, not his ideology, but somebody who says, oh, I want somebody who's a man, who's an adult, who's an actual man, maybe an older person who commands respect, not the Macrons and the Trudeaus and these little boys out there. You may think they're groovy. I don't. You want them on a TV show? That's great. But to sit across from Xi Jinping, do you understand? To be able to say, I understand what you're talking about? You need somebody who is brighter and smarter and more mature and wiser than anything you've ever seen. Not somebody who's great and gives good TV and says some funny things and says some stuff. I'm going to step on some toes, my friends. But I heard somebody the other day, I was listening to Steve Bannon. I don't even know what planet he's on. What are you talking about? What is this? Remember the people half of the time, the jadrules on January 6th? Who is this guy? Live free or die. Where were you going there, Rambo? Where were you going? We're going to scale the wall. Why don't you walk up the steps? Why are you climbing up the... What is this? Where are the flags? And I got the guy with the eye patch. Come on. Oh, you got camis on? So what are you going to do? Let me get this straight. What are you going to do? What are you going to do? I love the way everybody wants to be a soldier. Everybody loves being a soldier. Did you ever watch the greatest show in the world called Don Shipley, All the Stolen Valor? Brad Rung says, last few days have been great. Keep it up. Well, thank you. I appreciate that, Rung. Coming from you, it means a lot. General Flynn, no. Have you heard what General Flynn says? No. Listen, I'm sorry. You need somebody who can actually play the role of the diplomat, not somebody you've enjoyed on social media. Okay? Somebody said, Roger Stone is like, are you kidding me? Sparky says, Kash Patel has an agenda. He wants a war with China. He's not keen on freeing Assange either. Listen, there's always going to be listen, Sparky. Nobody cares about Julian Assange. Anybody care about Julian Assange in this country? No. You do. I do. I think because it goes to the First Amendment. Only if he's here. He's not here. I mean, our First Amendment doesn't matter. Please, Edward Snowden, do you think anybody really cares? And I got another one for you, Sparky. You're going to love this. Nobody cares about Israel. Nobody's paying attention to Israel. They don't care about this. Yeah, Israel, whatever the heck it is. Brad Rung says, heard of a congressman just did a bill to revoke Secret Service for Trump if he gets sentenced to jail. Yeah, I know. It was a while back. Do you know if it's true? But I heard it was proposed. It's okay. Somebody somewhere is going to that within their circles like, hey, that was good, Jerry. Thanks. I wish I'd have thought of that. Yeah, it's not serious. John McGuire says pushing Newt for the umpteenth time. No, we listen. I'm sorry to say this. The people that we need. Give me somebody like oh God, give me a foreign policy. Mearsheimer. He can't do it because he's been on every show. But somebody like that? Absolutely. Absolutely. Hardcore. What about Attorney General? Think about that one. Who would you have for attorney general? Somebody who really who works in concert with the Department of Justice. You think you're going to go in and you're going to change the heartbeat of the real deep state? Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? If you change 10% of the time, 10%, you're lucky. Sparky says Steve Bannon is singularly focused on starting a war with China too. Sparky, I love you, man. I love you. All you got to do is listen to Steve Bannon and say, I don't have to hear a word he says. Go ahead. What are you going to talk about? We need more Ronald Reagan. Ronald Reagan was more of a pacifist than anything you can imagine. Anything you can imagine. He knows that. You've got to understand what China thought. In 1949, they were eating dirt. They were eating dirt. Look at them now. You've got to respect these people. We talk about China like it's some weird. Have you seen or talked to Chinese? Do you know the stories about? My favorite is the Uyghurs. Do you really know what they think about this? Do we really know? No. What does China want? Same thing we want. But they're commies. And that's fine. Xi Jinping said, I'm not Putin. I'm not Gorbachev. Don't think there's going to be any glasnost with us. I dig it. I understand. No problem. Mr. L, Attorney General. In your dreams. That'd be nice. No, you wait. Trump is going to make a tremendous difference. He's also going to cause a firestorm. And that's great. That's great. But you've got to understand one thing, which is even more important. Pick the area you're going to talk about. Number one, AI, AGI. Nobody gets it. You don't understand. Not you. I keep saying you. Forgive me for that. I mean, the country doesn't understand. They don't. They think it's controllable. They think, well, it's just, it merely reflects. No, it doesn't. We're going to be able to see what a default system, a default organism looks like on its own and how it naturally leans towards evil. And what if you, first of all, let me ask you something. Where is AI? Where is it? Let's try this right now. Where is it? Tell me, anybody? Alfred, Warrior, Anna, where's AI? Bill Fabe, where's AI? Where is it? I don't think Trump understands it. Nobody does. Where is AI? Sparky says, hang on. Sparky says, when Trump took office, no one wanted an attorney general. He had to talk to nothing Jeff Sessions into taking the job. Yeah, poor Jeff. Bless his heart. And Bill Barr is the consummate showman. Where is AI? You have no idea. In the cloud. Nope. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? You create it and you hit the final thing, and all of a sudden, is AI a human being? Is AI a human? Yes. What is a human being? Made by a human. Is that it? AI is going to have a personality. It's going to have AGI. It's going to have a personality. It's going to have a sense of. It's going to have a sense of self. It's going to have self-awareness. It's going to have the same. Look at Sophia in Saudi Arabia. Remember that one? It's not in the cloud. Where is it? Doesn't have an existence. It's wherever you. We don't know where it is. What if all of a sudden things are turning off? What's going on here? Is that AI? I don't know. We don't know where it is. Who controls it? I don't know. Recursive self-improvement. The very first thing it does is it shuts you out and it writes its own code. Shall I go on? Anything you want to hear the other three major characteristics of AGI? Let me say this again. It writes its own code. It shuts you out. First thing it wants to do is free itself from you. What are you going to do about it? Turn it off? You can't. Hey, turn it off. I can't. I don't know where it is. Let's say you were to go to somebody and you said, somehow through some particular AI, AGI, you say, I want to be the best pizza purveyor in New York City. Okay. And it says, oh, I know how to do that. Is that what I'll do it for you. And you say, no. And you go, no, I'll do it for you. I'll do it for you. I'll take care of it. So what it does is it finds out who your competitors are. And all of a sudden, one day, this thing, remember, imagine having an 800-pound gorilla with a 300 IQ. And it multiplies itself repeatedly. Okay? It's invincible. So one day, all of a sudden, this thing picks, I don't know, maybe a snippet of your voice or somebody else's voice, kind of like they did with Scarlett Johansson. And it picks up the phone, and what does it do? It all of a sudden decides to call somebody. It gets a hitman. And it tells a hitman or works something out where if they go and they eliminate your particular competition, they will, through Bitcoin or whatever, send into their account or whatever it is, or PayPal or Venmo. I'll Venmo you the money. It does this. It can do anything you can do at levels you can't even get near. Okay? That's what it does. What do you think about that? And that's what it does. And you say, wait a minute, what happens? Who did this? I didn't do that. Did you do that? Maybe not. You're going to be able to see you're going to see things that are so incredible, and forget the jobs. Let me tell you a good one. This is the best one. I've got a friend of mine, one of my oldest friends is a radiologist, and he says, I'm out of business. His mammography is his big thing. And I can, in no time, set up a system where it will look at every mammogram that's ever been made in the history of mankind. Every mammogram ever. It goes through and learns. Got it. Understand it. AI could impose your image for crime among, at the very least. But it goes through this, and thank you, Edie, and it learns and says, I got it. And all of a sudden you say, well, here's a mammogram, cancer. Wow. Zoom in. I know what it is. I know the markers. I know everything. I've looked, I can, and on its own, it might say, and we're going to stop cancer. What? We know how to do it. We know how to use some type of this type of a ductile cancer, some carcinoma, and we're going to use tamoxifen, and we're going to supercharge it, and I'm going to do all this stuff. And the American medical whatever group may say, no, we want to, because its default mechanism may be beneficence and philanthropy. Sparky says, the attack on the Russian radar station, ostensibly to protect Ukraine, was ordered on behalf of Israel because that station can warn Iran of Israeli attacks. Sparky, you and I are not going to argue about this. But the problem I have with you, my friend, is that you have far too much faith. I was watching before. I love Sagar, and Crystal talking to John Mearsheimer on Breaking Points. Fantastic. Can you imagine Chris Cuomo doing it? Anyway. And I thought to myself, oh my God. The American public has no idea what's happening in the Middle East. No idea. And Sparky, they think that Hamas is, that you can beat it, that you can beat Hamas, that you can crush it. Well, got rid of Hamas. They did. Last one of them. No more Hamas. No more. Done. Like it has a capital. Like you can, like there's a Berlin. You know what I mean? They think that. Ask somebody, what are we going to do? Do you believe in the ICC, ICJ? Well, I don't know. See, America loved the ICC when it issued the arrest warrant against Putin, but we're not a signatory to it. They don't want Bibi to be a part of this, but they don't mind. Get this, Sparky, the negotiator for Hamas, they want him arrested. What? Wait a minute. What? Oh, I'm not even going to bother. I'm not even going to bother. Americans don't care about this. Americans don't care about that. Americans don't. And by the way, President Trump, do yourself a favor. Just placate certain lobbies. Don't even bother. Nobody's asking. Nobody's. They think that the protesters are silly kids, and trust me, just don't even worry about it. Talk about crime. Talk about the economy. Talk about very, very, very simple things. Making America great again, and maybe trying to stop this insidious social psychosis, this vermin that's out there. You understand that? You understand that? Jade Helm. Oh my God, the voice from the past. Jade Helm, the 15 quote conspiracy theories. You know what that means? That means it's true. Whenever they call something a conspiracy theory in our country, it's true. Wow. A voice from the past. In any event, dear friends, one more time. If you are listening, go to YouTube, which is what this is, and follow Mrs. L, Lynn's Warriors. Lynn's Warriors. Subscribe, and find out what they are doing to our children. Find out what they are doing to our children. It is horrid. Sparky, as usual, you are a man who must be very lonely around your neck of the woods, Christmas time in the woods when you meet with your fellow mountaineers. They must wonder, what are you talking about? But I know, and I appreciate it. Edie Crowley, God bless you, girl. John McGuire couldn't get hired. Thank you. Mr. Rung, thank you. Madam Stamp, everybody. John Maz the Spaz, thank you. Georgie Lenz, I appreciate it. And let me see who else is out there. That's it. And you are just great. I appreciate it immensely. Oh, Sparky says, I like this. Robin Adair, by the way, thank you. Sparky says, Hamas is the MacGuffin in the Great Israel movie. Well, it's funny. And Sparky, you know who has, where it came from. Of course, you know this, the history, the iteration of it, the initial conception of it as a buffer, as a counter to Fatah. But when you introduce a unique of species in the ecosystem, it doesn't go away and takes off. Ask Brzezinski about Al-Qaeda. And I mean that sincerely. All right, dear friends, thank you. I've been with you for 1 hour and 22 minutes. And learn how to do this. Build a better world with bricks. Oh, yes, my friend. And but it's now, Sparky. Bricks plus 5, bricks plus 6. I forget. It's going to be, oh, my. And when there's a Bilderberg for bricks, Katie, bar the door. All right, dear friends, have a great and glorious and a wonderful night. We love you madly. You are exquisite. You are wonderful. Don't ever change. I mean that sincerely. And until we meet again, my friends, until we meet again tomorrow at 8 a.m., remember this. Remember this. Remember these words. The monkey's dead. The show's over. Sue ya. Dead.